Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would show you how I plan for trips, which if you've been around for a while, you might know that I do have at least one or two older videos of this, but it's honestly been a really long time since I've gone on any sort of trip. Precisely October of 2019 was my last big trip, and that was when I went to Korea, so I definitely would have had some trip planning stuff for that. But I am hoping, we shall see, I am hoping to go to Paris next weekend and take kind of like a 3-day trip over there. And this is really to start rebuilding my like travel muscle, because I am such a homebody that basically the whole pandemic situation essentially just let me stay at home. Like I was forced to stay at home, and so that just became like more and more my default. And I have noticed that I'm getting a little bit like anxious at the thought of planning trips. Like there's the side of my brain that's like, oh my gosh, this would be so much fun. I would love to be able to do this when things open up again. And then there's the other side of my brain that's like, oh, but I'd have to leave my house and like be gone for a while. And yeah, so my plan, and again, we will see if this actually happens. I will kind of put the disclaimer, I am fully vaccinated. I have been fully vaccinated for about a month at this point, and I will obviously be wearing my mask everywhere except for, you know, when I eat and when I'm in my hotel room. And I am also, like, this is all contingent on the sanitary restrictions not changing in the next week, essentially. So just kind of putting that out there. So again, we will see if this actually happens. But my plan for this summer was, rather than trying to go on a longer trip, knowing that things were kind of still in flux, I am trying to sort of build up to things. So last week or 2 weeks ago, I did a day trip to Paris as kind of like a getting my feet out of my town sort of thing. And then this trip is going to be a 3-night trip to, again, Paris. It's, you know, within my region. It's under 200 miles. I have no idea the actual distance. It's an hour-and-a-half train ride out there. And I figured that this would be a good way for me to get used to like staying in a hotel again and packing again and being away from my home and like all of that kind of stuff in a really sort of low risk setting, because it is still so close to my house. So, and again, like I wouldn't say that I have like a lot of like anxiety necessarily, but I have noticed that because I have been home so much, like this has been the one thing that I've kind of been like, I don't know. So what I thought, since I'm already planning on going on this trip, and since it's been a hot second since I have done any sort of like trip planning spreads, I thought I would walk you through how I am going to set up my trip planner essentially in my bullet journal. So let's take a peek. Oh, let's move things out of the way so I have room. So I have, all right, I just was setting up my daily earlier, so I've got stuff in there. So this is my current weekly up there, and I actually was smart when I set up my monthly, and I left specifically a little page for my Paris planning. I was planning on doing it off camera, just kind of set things up, and then I realized that, hey, why don't I actually film this? So basically, what I am gonna do is just use my monthly colors because they're pretty, and why not? And I am gonna go ahead and sort of walk you through how I decide what I put on my trip planner and sort of how I organize things. Now, if you are interested, I will try and go through and I will link some of my older trip planning videos up here so you can kind of see. To be perfectly honest, I have sort of a set method of the way that I like to plan things, because just like it works for my brain in this layout. And so it'll be interesting to see, but I suspect that what I set up here, even though it's been literally like 2 years since I've done a trip spread, it's probably going to look very similar to every other trip planning spread, but I figure it's worth a refresh. So let's pull out, so these are the colors I'm using for this week. So I think maybe what I'll do is I won't use these. So, all right, hold on, where's my other colors? So this, so these are my other August colors. So I think what we're gonna do is put this week's colors in here. I'm not gonna use them, just to kind of give a little bit of like visual differentiation. I don't know, just because. And we're gonna take off my little clip there. So I always first like to obviously label it. It is helpful. And sometimes I will give my trips a cute little name, and sometimes I just like put the dates or whatever, but you know, it just depends on the mood I'm in. So I think what I'm gonna do actually for this one is, so let's see. Left side is usually where I do sort of logistics information, and right side is where I typically do packing, but it is only a 3-day trip, so I might not need all of this for packing, and I have an idea for what I want to do sort of down there, but I think we're gonna do actually weekend in Paris. Just because, you know what I mean? Like, just because. So I think we're gonna do orange. We're gonna go ahead and give it a nice big one. And as you will notice, I do not center in the slightest, because why would I? Oops. Oh, and this is one of those things that I, one, have a pretty set way that I like to do my trip planning, just like it logically makes sense to me, and so I don't ever really go in and like pre-plan out my pages. And obviously that is a very personal choice. I know that there are a number of people who prefer to go in like with pencil, for example, first and plan out where everything is gonna go before they then ink it in. And some people like to just go in and wing it. I am definitely of the wing it category, and as you can see, you know, I didn't count it out perfectly, but like it's relatively centered. Just like after years and years and years, I kind of know how much space words are gonna take, and so I'm not super fussed for those little ways in which they are not centered. Like, it is what it is, you know what I mean? Like, it's personal preference. So as I mentioned, we are going to have a like logistics over here, and I think I'm actually going to do something I don't typically do, but I think that it is going to be kind of helpful just because I will end up packing next week and like I'll have this to refer to. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm actually gonna do a little like weather thing over here, and I think we're gonna use this, I have this like two-tone gray and like mauve, and I think we're actually gonna write with this pen on this spread because I've also been using it for August. So I think we're gonna go ahead and do yellow. Yellow feels like a weather thing. So I was smart and I went ahead and I have my, what are you? Weather app. So daily, I need it for, okay, oh boo, one of the days is going to be rainy. That is not ideal. All right, so I have 4 days. And I think what I'm gonna do is actually like mush it kind of over here, and then maybe I can get my train information over here. So, all right. I think I'm gonna do little boxes, like little bitty boxes. We're gonna go down, yeah, we're gonna just do this. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I do an extra one? So if I do an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, oh yeah, that's fine. Here, and then we're gonna do here. That was weird. Anyway, whatever, it's fine. Oh wait, no, it's fine. So, I say this before I've actually finished. It is not. And you know what we're gonna do? The magic of whiteout. All right, so I'm just going to white out this like side one over here because it's not really necessary. So let's go ahead and do, and as I mentioned, I don't usually do weather. It is not something that I am like super obsessed with tracking. But because our weather has been fluctuating, honestly, just like so much this summer, I do kind of want to have a little reference, and I feel like it'll be nice to have that memory just because it is such like wow, that sun was terrible. Just because it is so like unseasonably chilly. I think that looking back on this in the future, it will be kind of nice to have this like weird weather situation like remembered or noted down or whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna do the high and low at the bottom. So 24. It's actually warmer than I thought it was gonna be on some of the days, which is kind of nice. Like, I don't love super, super hot weather, but at the same time, it is August. Like, it's weird that it's getting down to like 15 at night kind of thing. Like normally it stays around like 20. Just doing a little day. Okay, so now I have my weather specifically for like planning outfits and stuff. Like that's kind of the main reason I wanted to have that. And now we're gonna go ahead and fill in some other stuff. So we are gonna do, so, whoops. Okay. There, and we are gonna do, I actually do shorthand a lot of stuff because it's fine. And I am not actually going to put my train information or my hotel information down here. I'll fill that in off camera just for privacy reasons, but at least you can see sort of how I am going to set it up. So, up there. Then I'm gonna have my, oops, hotel stuff. So gonna jump it down here. Yeah. So what I like to have is I'll do my address, the address of the hotel first. And actually, do I have a pencil in here? Probably somewhere, yes. Here we go. So what I'll do is I'll kind of like pencil this in so you kind of know, all right, is my pencil gonna work? Excuse you. I have another one. Oh, come on. Oh, goodness. Okay. Basically, what I'm gonna do is the address, and so probably 2 lines for that, and then the metro stop, so that I know what lines I'm on, just because that is really useful information. And then what I also like to have is check-in, and check-out. Okay, so that'll be kind of that information over there. And like if I were going someplace further away, then typically what I would have is trains, because I always have to take the train to get to the airport. So train, plane, and then hotel down here. But because I only have train and hotel, I don't need to use up as much space for that. So that is over there. I think that what I'm gonna do is, okay, so I know I'm gonna have my packing list over here. And I have a couple of things that I like to put on. So I like to have a, like before I leave, things I want to do sort of checklist. And when I go on longer trips, I actually have a before leaving and when I come back. But because this is just a weekend and I'm not really going very far, it's going to be a much like more simplified thing. So like on longer trips, I actually will have 2 spreads worth of stuff where I'll have one spread with this stuff and then another spread that has like before I leave, what do I need to do? And then when I come back. So actually I have that particular set up somewhere in here, like somewhere in my catalog of videos, so I will try and link that up there. What I do want to do is things I want to do, and I think I'm actually going to do that down here, and I think I'm going to actually split it up into the days and kind of roughly block out sort of what I want to do. And then I think I'm going to do my before I leave over here, and then I'm gonna do this side. Okay, so wait, let's go ahead and work on this. So I don't know what colors, I don't think I've used the darker pink yet. So on the packing side, I typically have like important stuff. So obviously if I were like leaving the country, it would be my passport and that, but like this is going to be more like if I'm gonna bring bullet journaling stuff, like obviously my vaccine certification is on my phone, so like I don't even have to really worry about that. But I am gonna leave an important one just because that is one I typically have, So this is gonna be like chargers and stuff. So we're gonna have so I need my wallet. I'm gonna pare down. So I typically take out some stuff. I'm gonna do my umbrella because I want to have a external charger. I will probably bring my Kindle, probably bring my AirPods. I need chargers. So I need, well, it's gonna be my phone and that. I'm not gonna bring anything like my iPad. So I need basically the Kindle charger and I need an iPhone charger because that'll work for AirPods and for my phone. I kind of want to bring my bullet journal actually. I think what I'm gonna do is leave my some lines a day at home. Just cause like even though it's close by, like I don't need to bring all of that stuff, but I think what I will do is I think I will bring my bullet journal, probably. I'm gonna put a question mark, Bujo question mark, which would mean pens. Actually, I'm gonna probably end up taking up more space for packing lists than I thought I would. Okay, so then next is gonna be DOP kit, so toiletries, but I grew up saying dop kit, so that is what I use. And then we're gonna do underwear, basically. Mostly because undergarments is too long. This is how we decide. Okay, so I basically have, so dop kit, and I won't fill out absolutely everything, but this gives you an idea. So we need, so toothbrush, toothpaste, floss, and I do sometimes nest them like this. Ooh, that was from my little, I have a little bit of residue from where I had my little sticky note. Anyway, so I will sometimes nest things that kind of go together. I do not need any like hair products, but I do need shampoo and conditioner. Right. Deodorant. Bring my razor. And then I think the next thing is gonna be skincare, and that's gonna be a nested. So oil cleanse, water cleanse, small toner, because I have a small one that I can bring. I'm gonna do one serum, just like, doesn't matter, I'll just pick a general one that I can use morning and night. I wanna do eye cream, face cream, and SPF. Oh, and lip balm, or lip oil, lip balm, like whatever I end up bringing. I think that's the main stuff. Okay, so then over here, so basically this is where I kind of figure out, I will be there Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and I'm coming home on Sunday. So I have 3 days. So let's do, will I use tights? It's like 25, 26, probably not. I need socks. I will have to figure out some of these later. And then clothing. So this is where I'm actually probably not gonna fill in now, but basically what I'll end up doing is I'll start pulling stuff out, and I will see, I need at least whatever I'm wearing Thursday. I need PJs, which actually let's go ahead and do PJs. That one's easy enough. So I will need PJs obviously, and then I will kind of plan out what outfits I want to do, and if there's anything, so for example, if I decide to bring skirts, I could bring one skirt and have 2 different tops and wear that 2 days, like kind of figure out, because I am going to try and pack light. I'm going to bring a very small suitcase, so we will see, but I'm going to kind of leave that for now. So I'm going to have clothing, then I also need outerwear. So here, let's give it down here basically. Apparently I did take all of this space. Okay, so outerwear is gonna be, I probably wanna have 1 sweater, just like in case, especially if I'm out in the evening and it gets colder, and I need to bring shoes. I'm gonna leave some space there, so I need to have my suitcase, my purse, tote bags. I always like to have tote bags just in case. Okay, so that is just kind of my general packing list, and obviously I have to fill in the clothing because I do, like, I put down the specific pieces that I want to bring, so I'll fill that in once I figure out my outfits. So next up, we're gonna do kind of my rough blocking for like what I want to do while I'm there. So I've got basically Sunday morning, I don't really need a lot of space, but I have these 3 days where I'm basically there like the entire day. So we're gonna just sort of eyeball it because, and actually, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call this, no, this is the yellow one, isn't it? Yes. So we're gonna call it planning. Okay. And then we are just going to block it out. Ooh, nice straight lines. So basically Sunday, I don't need a lot of space. We're just gonna arbitrarily do that. So if I did it like here, actually, let's do it here. I'm not counting these, as you can see. Okay, so it's like roughly 3 longer ones and then a shorter one for Sunday. So we're gonna go ahead and do darker pink. So we're calling this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, so basically my idea is that, so on Thursday, I'm gonna do some stuff. Depends, I have to actually email the, ooh, actually we're gonna make that list now because that actually kind of goes with this. So pre-trip So before I leave, what do I have to do? So what I want to do is I need to email hotel. So I want to see if I can drop my bags early. I want to do a mani-pedi before I leave. I need to prep YouTube because I actually will be posting that Sunday. Obviously I need to, I need to plan outings and reserve, because I think that I might want to go to 1 or 2 museums and I might need to reserve first. Oh, right, look up GF Resto, so looking up gluten-free restaurants, and then I'm also going to say reserve question mark, because I don't know if I will actually need to do that. And then, do I have anything else right now? Pack. Pack's a big one. Pack, eat up food, and I think that's okay. Okay, so basically, if I can drop off my bags on Thursday, I think the check-in is actually kind of like mid-afternoon. So if I can drop off my bags, then I'll definitely go like do other stuff and then come back. If I have to have my bags, then that is going to, even if I'm not bringing a lot of stuff, like it is definitely going to sort of change how I, like what I want to do that day, because I will obviously have to like lug all of my stuff around with me. So that is, you know, obviously kind of contingent on what answer I get from the hotel. And then, oops. So I'm kind of gonna leave Thursday a little bit more open until I have that information. And then what I kind of wanted to do is I wanted to find 1 or 2 museums that I wanted to go and check out, and possibly do like reservations, because I've seen a couple of them where they're like, yeah, you really should reserve, you know, there's like limited numbers of entries or whatever. And so I want to make sure that I do that, because also having that reservation is going to make me much more likely to actually go and do it, because I will, if I don't plan stuff like that and actually reserve it, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'd love to do that, and then somehow I just never get around to it and I do other stuff, which is fine. And you know, a lot of times when I'm on a trip, I don't mind kind of leaving everything up in the air like that, but I would like to do a couple of things like that. So I think what I'm gonna do for right now is just with like pencil. So I know that I'm gonna go to my gluten-free place for breakfast. Whoops, drop off bags is a question mark. Okay, so I think on Friday I wanna do a museum. I think that on Saturday, maybe do a museum or like a park or something. And obviously the museum won't take all day, so I will do like other stuff as well. But I just want to put in like 1 or 2 sort of bigger things and then figure that out. Maybe Thursday, do I want to do fabric stores? Because I do want to go on a fabric shop, and I feel like it would be better if I go earlier, just because if they are going to close, I feel like they're more likely going to be closed on the weekend. And then, ooh, I need to message, so I think Ricardo is going to be around, so I need to message him and see if and like when he wants to meet up. There. Okay. So I think maybe on like Friday night I want to do like a restaurant, because maybe I have to, like if I want to reserve it, then that would be good. Also, the rainy day is going to be potentially on Saturday. So maybe I want to do a museum / park on Friday, and I want to take off the park because I might want to like stay inside more. If it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be super rainy, but if it's going to be kind of rainy, then I feel like I don't want to do that. I have to double check my timing, like when, but I think that I might actually have time to do my gluten-free place for breakfast, and then I have train home. Basically, that's all I'm gonna be doing on Sunday, train home, so that's actually fine. Museum, park, yeah, we'll kind of see, and maybe I wanna like go like pick a neighborhood to wander around or something like that, but I'm just kind of like roughly blocking out what I wanna do. Let me zoom out so you can kind of see. So this is what I have so far for my planning. Obviously, I do have to fill in some like details or whatever, just, you know, for privacy reasons, and also because I don't know them yet. But this is the sort of basic setup that I like to use. I find that just in my brain, this side, like the left side of the page, it's what you see first. That's going to be all of my planning stuff, and that's going to be like the organization of my trip. And then the right side of the page, which in my mind is like kind of, it's important stuff, but like not quite as crucial, is going to be the packing list, because once I've done the packing list, like I kind of don't need to refer to it again. If I do have my bullet journal with me, obviously I will kind of check and make sure that when I'm repacking up on like Saturday night that I do have everything, but I don't typically like it. This might look like a lot of stuff, but I'm very meticulous about like writing everything down, but a lot of it doesn't take up a lot of space. So I will kind of keep everything together when I'm at like the hotel or whatever. I will say the only kind of new things, I typically will only do a planning like this on longer trips, but because this is my first trip in a while, I do kind of want to plot out a little bit of what I want to do. And again, I might just do one big thing that I sort of plan and then just sort of see where the day takes me. But I did want to make sure that I had that kind of done up. And one thing I'll do is if I plan things that I'm like, oh, I got a reservation for this museum on this day, I'm going to write that in there. But what I'll do is like in the evening when I get back home or get back to the hotel or whatever, I'll fill in whatever else I did. So that way I have a nice sort of record of what I did for my trip. I also don't normally do the weather, but again, as I mentioned, because our weather has been just like so unseasonably cool, I kind of wanted to have a record of that and also to really like keep it in mind when I'm doing my packing, because how I'm going to pack for this trip is not how I would normally pack for a trip to Paris in like mid-August. So, oh, the one thing that I didn't do, oh, well, I'm definitely gonna add that in, so hold on a second. We're gonna do orange, I guess. What is this? So this is gonna be just write in my dates, because normally I actually have my dates up here somewhere, and I 100% did not actually do that, so we're just gonna do it over here on my little planning section, just so I know. Okay, and I'm not even gonna write the year just because I know this is my 2021 bullet journal, so like obviously this is the trip that I'm going on in August of 2021. Maybe not obviously, but it's fine. Like I will know that this was not one that I planned like super in advance. I almost never do my trip planning spreads more than like a month or two in advance kind of thing, just because, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. I like to have it closer to when I'm actually going to be leaving to refer to. So that is what I wanted to go over with. As I mentioned, I will try and link any of my previous trip planning spreads up top so you can kind of see for different length trips. I did want to sort of do this type of video again, just because things do sort of like adjust over time. And I have some things on here that I haven't previously done on trip planning spreads. So hopefully this is useful for whenever things start opening up and you are able to travel again. As I mentioned, I am vaccinated. I will be wearing a mask, but there is still a chance that I won't be able to go on this trip if things start like locking down a little bit more here in France. Time will tell, but the planning side of this won't change whether or not I go, so I wanted to kind of share that with you all. So if you have any comments or questions, let me know down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Hey guys, so if you've made it all the way to the end of this video and are actually watching my end screen and you're not subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you would. There's a little button right there for you to do it. And if you're interested in watching some more of my videos, I have links to 2 of my older videos off to the left there, so you can check those out if you would like to, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!